Greetings, family. Salutations. I wanted to come to you guys with this storm here because it got me to really thinking about the planetary cycles, the energies, how Mercury is in retrograde, how relationships are being tested, just like this storm. you know, it's like storms will come and test the integrity of your home, the integrity of your car, uh, the integrity of the ground, the road. You know that you have seen where it has rained and rained and rained and rained, and so much damage has been done just simply from the rain. It didn't have to be a hurricane or tornado, a tsunami, flood. Didn't have to be anything like that. It could just be a lot of rain, a storm, a simple storm, just to come and test you. And Mercury tends to do that quite a bit. And even though Saturn moves very slow, it's in retrograde as well. So, we've got a lot of planets in retrograde right now. And I just wanted to come to you all and chat a little bit about it. I'm not sure if you guys can see the sky. I mean, you can see it a little bit, but you can't see it anywhere near as beautifully as I can see it right now, because pictures never do it justice. Never do it justice. But I just wanted to come to you all really quickly and speak about the storm. And how they come, and how storms really come in to change us, to give us opportunities for certain things. There is no way that anything can grow if it doesn't rain. There is so much energy that can be captured by all of that electricity that's going on in those clouds. And for all we know, with the way the world is, the way we're living in it right now, somebody could very well be manipulating this weather that I'm looking at right now. I mean, there is no, you've got to know that the weather is being manipulated. You've got to know that. If you don't think that the weather can be manipulated, then I feel that you live in a bubble. This weather manipulation is nothing new. It's nothing new. That's not something that's brand new. This has been going on since way before the millennials we were born. It's been going on for a long, long time. But when the storms come, quite oftentimes they come to make us stronger. A storm will tell you or let you know that you need to have shelter. A storm will let you know that it'll give you the opportunity to have shelter. The storm will give you the opportunity to think outside of the box. A storm will show you where your weakness is. You never know what part of the roof needs fixing until it rains and rains and rains. And then you will see the weak parts. The roof will leak there, and then you can heal it. You can fix it. You don't just tear the house down just because the roof leaks. And friendships and relationships are a lot like that. There you have little things that happen. You have energies that unfold within the friendship that are very much like storms. It's very much like the weather. Things change, things happen. People get hurt, believe it or not. People actually deal with hurt differently. And just like I was listening to a pastor, the Divine Masculine had posted a sermon saying that hatred is hatred. And it's so true. And a lot of times, for those of you who believe in karma or the twin flame relationship or just the natural understanding of relationships in general, you know that as we live our lives, parts of ourselves are reflected back to us through the people that we interact with. And a lot of times, the reason why the twin flame relationship or the soulmate relationship or romantic relationships are the most revealing of ourselves is because they are the most intimate. And it becomes this sense of identity where you have to reflect your truth because you don't want to get hurt. And sometimes that hurt and that fear, it looks just like hate. It sounds like hate. It feels like hate, you know? And so what happens is that energy is reflected back and forth. That energy is, looked at like, this nigga crazy or this woman crazy, whatever. And a lot of times we forget to remember the storm that is raging within ourselves. What actually triggered this outward projection to be reflected back to me? What allowed me to see myself in this light? This storm is so beautiful, y'all. I wish that I had a more elaborate camera. But, yeah. And the storms. Not just the emotional storms between relationships, but the storms of life in general. The storms of life when they begin to roll, when they begin to rage. Things are shaken up, things move, things change. Things can never be the same. Sometimes the storm comes to move things out of your way that would have otherwise just stayed there forever and never would have made room for something new. I'm reminded of the sermon or the actually it was not a sermon, it was a talk. And I'll try to find it and link it, by Dr. Miles Monroe, where he was speaking about tradition and moving into actually change. And he was speaking about how Moses represented the tradition and how Joshua represented the change. And a lot of us are so stuck on our tradition, the old way, the way that things have always been done, that it's going to take a storm. It's going to take an actual storm to move things in your life, to change things, to shape things, to clear the space, to make it so that you can get out of your own way. Storm. Sometimes it takes a storm to help you release the things that no longer serve your highest good. But you see, at some point in time, we have to remember that God speaks to all of us individually, okay? However you see God. Some people see God as a man in the sky. Some people see God as self. Some people see God as being omnipotent, omnipresent, within me, within you, in the butterfly, in the air, in the water, in the earth, in the fire, in the soil, in the tree. That sound right now that you hear, God. Everything is God, in my opinion. It's all a different expression of the same thing. Energy. And a lot of times we get so stuck on ourselves, so stuck on the plan we have set forth in our mind, that we forget that we are here to experience love, unconditional. And yeah, it's so rah-rah to hear us all say, yeah, love yourself. Love yourself. I mean, yeah, you do need to love yourself. But if we're not here just to love ourselves, we're here to love each other. We're here to get to know one another. I was talking to my father today, and my father really, he really likes to do a lot of research about religion and things of that nature, and I find it very intriguing, very interesting. But today, I was just so tired. When I woke up today, I had the most beautiful rest. I had such good dreams. But when I woke up, I felt so like I'm over everything less than love. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about who did what in the White House today. I don't care about whether Yeshua is Jesus or Yeshua or never existed. I don't care. I wasn't there. What I care about is you right now, here, in this moment. I have an opportunity to know you, really know you, your soul, who you are on a soul level. On a soul level, you know. I hear about people in these relationships. I hear about people in relationships, and I don't want to get too deep into detail, just out of confidentiality. But I hear about people who never let their mate know them. Your mate never sees you in the bathroom. Your mate never sees you with your hair out of place. Your mate never sees you without your weave, without your wig, without your makeup. Your mate never sees you without a fresh cut, without some J's on your feet. You never showed your mate your scars. You never showed your mate your shortcomings or the things that you feel are not of your highest. And then anytime the wind blows, just a smidge, the house comes tumbling down. It comes tumbling down. Why? Because it was a fake, unsturdy, superficial, super shallow foundation. My father told me that the main reason why people do not like to show their true selves or all of their scars or let you know exactly who they are in relationships is because they don't want you to use it against them, and they don't want you to throw it up in their face later. And I was like, well, yeah, that's true, because I've had that happen to me. I've shared my true self. I've put myself out there vulnerably and let someone know, like, hey, this is where it hurts. This is where it feels good. This is where I can't see my own way right now. This is where I'm strong. This is where I'm weak. This is where I can guide you. And I've had all of that taken, balled up like it won't shit, and thrown back in my face. And, the initial thought of that for most people is, you know what? Fuck you then. That is the first initial thought for most people. But because I spend so much time in solitude, because I spend so much time in self-reflection, because I know myself so well, I understand that when a person does that, when a person deflects in that way, it is because they are protecting themselves from whatever perceived pain or whatever idea of pain that they think is about to come for them. So I can't be mad. Still yet I stand in the energy of love. Still yet I stand in the energy of forgiveness, because that's what my storms have created me to be. I've patched up a lot of places in my roof. I'm not saying my roof is completely leak proof, but I can say that yes, I have my shortcomings. I'm human. I'll never be perfect. Never be perfect as long as I'm in this flesh. I'll never be perfect. But my love is, and the only reason why my love is perfect is because I allow that energy of the Most High God to flow through me. God has asked me to stand and be a vessel, for her to flow through me. Him or her, whatever. But when I think about the energy of love, I really think of that balanced energy between divine masculine and divine feminine energy. So I think about how that energy has asked me to let it flow through me in spite of what everything looks like on the outside. And because I believe in that power and trust in that power, I have to be obedient. I have to surrender to the energy of unconditional love. Even when it seems like someone isn't being fair to me, people aren't being fair to me, people are mistreating me, people are abusing me. I have to surrender to that, because sometimes in life, yeah, we do fall short, we have our moments. But ultimately, how quickly can you get up? How quickly can you patch the roof? How quickly can you come back to your senses? How quickly can you stand up? Because sometimes God allows those emotions to stir up so deeply in us so that it gives the other person an opportunity to be God for you. You're not just a pawn in this. You matter too. Sometimes people drop the ball for you. But that's why you've got to get back on your feet as quickly as possible, and to remember the God that is within you, and remember the love that you believe in as quickly as you possibly can. Because I can assure you that the next opportunity to be God is right around the river bend. I just chose to say that because I'm feeling magical tonight. But it's right there, It's right there. I know that my parents have both done that for me. I spoke about my mother doing that for me during a fast. I was really purging. It had been 6 or 7 days of no food. I had just come off of a suicide attempt, just broke up and got out of a very, very abusive relationship. It had come to physical abuse from this person that was over 100 pounds bigger than me. And I just felt like nobody loved me. I mean, my job was horrible. I was being verbally abused at work, all of that. And when I got into this fast and I started purging and praying and cleansing, anybody who has ever fasted, longer than a day, how you face that space where it's just like, oh my gosh, where am I? What is happening? And my mother stood in love for me. She did not fight with me. She did not argue with me. And because she stood in that loving space for me, it allowed me to reach my art much faster and stay there. It wasn't a temporary condition of reaching that space. And my mother has been one of the biggest healers in my life, and I thank God for her. Now, my father also has done that because, so many things have transpired in life, I mean, we all know that a lot of people grow up in single parent households, okay? And our parents don't want that any more than we wanted it, you know? But sometimes it does happen to us, and whether you grew up with both your parents or not, it's still a certain amount of hurt and pain that you will receive from your parents, and that's just it. And recently I had questions for my father, you know, and I had questions for a lot of people lately. And my father did not respond to me in a hurtful way. My father showed me patience. He showed me kindness. And it was really easy for me to transmute that pain and suffering because he stood in the energy of love for me when I could not see it. Okay? Everybody will not do this for you. But when people do not stand in that energy of love for you, that's when you have to remember. You have to remember who you are. You have to remember what you are in spite of what they say to you about you, you know, no matter, in spite of how they treat you. You've got to remember who you are and where your source of power comes from. What is your source? You have to remember that. And once you remember, you have to immediately forgive them and show them love. Why? Because you were once there, weren't you? It is so funny. We all play Jesus and we all play Lucifer at some point in time in our lives, in this story that we all share called life. But I want my mate to know me. I want my family and friends to know me. You know, truthfully, honestly, all of me. How else can they love me unconditionally without seeing the conditions? I prefer to build my foundation upon the rock of what's real. I want my mate and my family and my friends, I want them to see me real. When I'm sad, when I'm hurt, I want them to see that. When I'm happy, when I'm silly, I want them to see that. When I feel like I'm Beyonce with my weave and makeup and nails done on fleek, I want them to see that. And when I'm not that, when I'm throwed out Angela Davis style, no makeup at all, okay? No weave. Just me, just chilling. I want them to see that as well. And I want them to love me, every bit of me, all the time. Why? Because that's what's real. Ain't nobody one way all the time. You know? Those facades that we try to keep on, guess what? As soon as the storm comes, the foundation crumbles. It don't last. It don't work like that. Storms are beautiful because they reveal the weaknesses. And for those who believe in unconditional love, and for those who believe that, hey, this house is built on a solid foundation, but it has a few things that need to be fixed, or, hey, this house, it wasn't built on a solid foundation. Let's tear this whole motherfucker down and rebuild it on something real. You know, the storms come and reveal that. The storms don't play. The storms are like Saturn, you know. They say, let's fix this. That's it. It's just time. It's time to make it right. It's time to reveal to you what parts of you need to be healed. It's time to reveal to you what parts of you have been weakened and what parts of you are not as integral as the other parts of you. It's time to wash things away, clear space, and make room for that which serves your highest good. storms. They come to bring nourishment to the earth. Nourishment. They come to bring a source of power, an additional source of energy, if we're able to harness it. If we're able to harness that energy. Storms are not always bad. I'm not telling y'all to go chase tornadoes and hurricanes. But what I'm saying is storms of life, they are going to come. No matter how perfect you think your situation is, no matter how perfect you think you built your house, sometimes the storm is strong. But the question is, do you love strong enough? Is your love based on conditions or no? Is your love based on what's real or no? Because if your love is real, then you will stand in your power once that storm is over. Clean it up and rebuild, because you love your family, because you love yourself, because you love those around you who were there with you all the while. Same thing with relationships. When storms come, when friction happens, we all know right now that Mercury is in retrograde. It's a lot of friction in the energy. It's a lot of friction in the atmosphere. We got a lot of planets in retrograde. Plus the moon is full. You know, the moon has its effects on water. Our bodies are at least 70% water, just about, give or take. So we're all feeling this intense pull of energy. And how we're dealing with that, if it's anything less than unconditional love, okay? Because we're all not, everybody's emotions is not going to be high at the same time. It's just like the waves of the shore, okay? You got some waves rolling back and you got some waves rolling in. You got to be able to stand in that unconditional love and reflect that to your brother or your sister, your lover or your mother or your father, your children, yourself, if you can. You got to be able to reflect that love when you see the energy of the enemy trying to come in and destroy what you have already built. You know? But I'm about to enjoy, because it feels so good. I feel like even though I know that God is always within me, always with me, I just want to be right here in this moment. But I wanted to share that with y'all. And some people think that, you know, I'm supposed to be posting videos all the time. I'm here living my real life, experiencing my real healing, experiencing my real emotions, working on my real projects, raising my real daughter. And sometimes some things have to slow down so that I can make sure that I'm patching up my roof too. You feel me? Sometimes I got to patch my roof as well. And why would I want to share with you all from a space of lack? All right? I like to wait for abundance, like this moment right here. So anyway, I love you all. I hope you got something from this. Continue to vibrate love.